Have you ever seen a game where people can get married? Well, today we're going to talk about one. I still remember those days when I used to play Minecraft, and now people are getting married and playing with milkers in the game. Dang. Anyway, our manga starts with today because today is a great day. Because of our nerdy and otaku main character who always sits at the corner of the class actually is getting married today, but in a game. His name is Ayano Koji Kazuto. No, not that Ayano Koji. He is quite the opposite of that one.
Spread your legs.
But we also can't change the fact that they both sit at the same place in the class, behind everyone next to the window. Back to the topic. He actually got married in the game. Don't bother asking me who these people are because I don't fucking care about NPCs. And this is his character in the game named Kazu. And this is him in real life. See the difference? No? Because they don't have any. Both look like iPhone 15 and 14 to me. The game is called Black Plains. It's a highly popular open-world game with ultra-realistic graphics. It's an amazing game where everyone can enjoy various kinds of roleplay. The main question why he got married and with that face? That's because he wanted a title called Married to Your Loved One. He got all titles except for that one and he wanted that title, but to get that, he had to get married. So yeah. And this is his bride. Personally, I thought he got married because she had some great eyes, ears, and big milkers. But that's not it. Because it's just her character, a blonde elf named Rin. He can't even touch it. He met her 4 years ago, when she started playing this game. He was paired up with her in a randomly grouped dungeon, and their relationship started as one where he was teaching her how to play, since she was a beginner. And that's how they got to know each other through these little interactions. After 4 years, they were already best friends. Gathering up his courage and believing the worst thing she could say was no, he asked her if she wanted to get married, of course, to receive more rewards. Because this meathead doesn't care about anything except for the game. Surprisingly, she said yes. And as expected, after getting married, they received even greater rewards. Much later, they decided to go offline because they both needed to touch some grass. Coming back to his old world, where life still sucked, he received a message from Rin, his wife from the game. She explained that she was glad they got married and that they were now husband and wife. After realizing that he had to go to school tomorrow like you all, he decided to go to sleep. The next day, at school, he was just playing with his phone when suddenly he stumbled upon some hentai. No, actually, he stumbled upon some information about a new event of Star Mainzu. Star Mainzu is an idol group made up of 5 high school girls who have gained significant attention. One of them is the genius idol, Mizuki Rinka, who also happens to be in his class. The moment when she joined the school, everyone was talking about her. Her exceptional beauty and sharp expression caught everyone's attention, as did her cold attitude. She seemed totally different from mere mortals. She was also quite famous in his class. And, as expected from the Ice Queen, she speaks the bare minimum, and her expression never changes. But people still like her. They believe she doesn't have a personality they could approach, so it's better to admire her from afar. While they were admiring her, our Ayano Koji received a message from his beloved Rin. She asked if he wanted to play together at 8 o'clock. Why not? To him, it's more fun to play with Rin than to watch those idols swing their milkers. But after school, as he arrived home and tried to open the game, he found out that there was maintenance until 8 o'clock. I can feel that, bro. He was hoping to do mining until Rin showed up, but now he can't play the game, and there was nothing else to do. So, he decided to look up the new event of Star Mainzu, which his class was talking about this morning. Now, he still wasn't going to watch those idols swing their milkers. He was going to listen to Rinka's song. As he started listening, somehow he began to like it more than he thought. Sometime later, he decided to listen to a couple more songs by Rinka, and after some time, he realized that he ended up listening to all of them. Do you guys really think that I was gonna continue with that background music? Nah. Now, it was already 8:20 p.m. I guess he is 20 minutes late for the game. Entering the game, he thought Rin must be angry, but she wasn't that upset. Later, they both went fishing because she wanted to. She wasn't mad. Instead, she was excited. But she just wanted him to tell her if he was going to be late because, after all, they were a couple. Hearing this, he didn't want to lie, so he told her the truth, that he was watching idol music videos, which is why he was late. When she asked which idol music he was listening to, he clearly told her that he couldn't say because Rin prohibited discussing real-life subjects. Yes, one day he tried to ask Rin about her personal life, but she told him to not get involved with their personal life because the purity of their relationship would be shattered because of real-life stuff. But this time, she just wanted him to ignore that and just tell her. She was desperate to know which kind of idol he really liked. And he? Well, he told her, I mean, what do you all even expect him to do? He explained in detail how it was his first time today, and he actually felt better than he thought, and he also enjoyed it. Yeah, I am talking about Rink's songs. He continued explaining that among them is a girl named Mizuki Rinka, who in his eyes is an exceptionally talented singer. Speaking of her, she is also his classmate. Hearing this, there was silence for about 5 minutes. Now, Ayanokoji thinks that he said something he shouldn't have, so he apologizes for getting carried away and saying something weird. After this, what she said actually shocked him, because she told him that she is Mizuki Rinka. At first, he thought she was just joking around. But when she started telling him information from their class, like she was in the second year, class 3, and her homeroom teacher's name, the seat she sit in every day, and every single little detail, he began to realize she was serious. He actually thought that she was just joking around, but everything she said right now is actually true. So, yeah, he now gotta believe her. On the other hand, she also wanted to know who he was from her class. And as soon as he told her that he was sitting behind everyone next to the window, she quickly recognized that he was Ayanokoji Kazuto. And after this conversation, she just left, informing me that she had something to do. Personally, Kazuto thought that she was disappointed when she found out who he is. He started thinking about every possible reason what's going to happen next. What if he never gets to play with Rin ever again? But deep down, he also knew that this wouldn't happen because these past 4 years, he accepted as a given that Rin would stay by his side forever, and he couldn't even imagine his life without her. As he was thinking all of this, suddenly, he received another message from Rin asking if he would like to have lunch with her at school tomorrow. After this message, he was glad that she doesn't hate him, but this actually means that Rin is actually Mizuki Rinka. But logically, there's no way both are the same person, because their personalities are totally different. I mean, the Ice Queen is the Ice Queen, and there's no way she's the cheerful one in an online game, right? Right? After thinking for some time, he came up with the conclusion that one of his classmates must be playing tricks on him, pretending to be Mizuki. After all, why would someone like Mizuki even play games? So, he asked her to prove that she was actually Mizuki. Soon enough, our guy received some nudes. A selfie from her. The next day, he was tired as if he was being clapped the whole night, although that wasn't true at all. But who knows, he might believe in $1 is $1. He couldn't sleep at all after he received a selfie from Mizuki. He arrived at school wondering that it was impossible that Rin was Mizuki, but she sent him her picture, so he had no choice but to believe her. However, after hearing some of his classmates talking about photo editing, he came to the conclusion that someone might have edited and photoshopped the picture that was sent to him. Is it just me? Or does everyone think that he just wants Rin not to turn out to be Mizuki in real life? But later it was confirmed that Rin was actually Mizuki when Mizuki waved at him in the middle of class. Later in the cafeteria, we see both of them silently having lunch together, and every single person in the cafeteria was wondering why Mizuki was eating with a guy. And there is only one thing I want to say: go get some help, NPCs. But it was also fair that those guys would be jealous because the person he is having lunch with is an idol. She was gorgeous and perfect in everyone's eyes, but in my eyes, she wasn't perfect because how can I ignore those small milkers? She was really surprised that Kazu is Ayanokoji Kazuto from his class. However, Ayanokoji was 100 times more surprised than her. It was really hard to know because both of them used almost half of their name in the game. And this led her to believe that it was fate that they really get along. And they were also classmates. But to Ayanokoji, it's just a marriage only in the game. But not to Mizuki. She threw a break of pure love, giving a full explanation. But she just meant that people on the internet don't know who and what kind of person the other one is. So they tend to reveal their heart and personality to each other, unlike in real life, where many people approach her with ulterior motives. And on the internet, all the male players also changed their attitude the second they found out that she was a girl. I mean, the hardcore players don't play with girls because they are just not good at it. But he was different. He always cheered her up, a lot of times even when she was going through a tough time in her idol career. Indeed, he was there for her during her bad times, without knowing what she was going through. If it wasn't for him, she would have retired as an idol a long time ago. And that is why she decided to marry him. She was taking the marriage very seriously. I mean, very seriously. He was also happy that she was taking the game so seriously. But at the end of the day, it's just a game for him, but not for Mizuki. She is taking that marriage as a real one. On the other hand, my guy is just here for the title. Their conversation was interrupted by a girl who approached both of them, asking Mizuki who the boy she was having lunch with was. She is also one of the members of Star Mines, just like Mizuki. Her name is Kurumizaka Nana, and she has a very bright personality. Finally, some good milkers. She quickly sits beside Mizuki, asking if Kazu from the game would get mad at her for having lunch with another guy. She doesn't know that Kazu is Ayanokoji, but after finding out, she was very excited to meet him in flesh. Nana wanted to know how Mizuki acts online. She thought that Mizuki would be the polar opposite online or something, and she was completely right. However, to Mizuki, it's not that different. Later, she also thanked Ayanokoji for always supporting Mizuki. Actually, the truth is, at the start, they weren't popular at all, so Mizuki had a stronger sense of responsibility than others. She practiced without any rest and worked harder than ever. And it was the time when Ayanokoji was the one who always put a smile on her face and motivated her. After that, Mizuki bounced back bit by bit, and that's when their popularity as a group rose. Very serious manga scene right here. It was very embarrassing for Mizuki that Nana told him all of this, and it was also the first time when the Ice Queen melted and blushed. Nana thought they were actually a couple. That's why they got married in the game. However, Ayanokoji explained, whispering, that the reason they got married is because they get a title when they get married in the game, but that doesn't mean that he doesn't like Mizuki. Of course, he likes her, but as a friend. Friend-zoned, not gonna lie, I am feeling sad for her. Mizuki too believes that they are a couple, since they got married. However, this doesn't go far. He has no idea that Mizuki thinks that way. I mean, he thought that she might like him in real life as well, but quickly came to the conclusion that there's no way that would be happening because he looks like a chimpanzee. However, after understanding the situation, Nana has decided that she is going to make both of them get married in real life too, because she can't just leave things like this. Now, it was time to get back to class. They headed back to class together after deciding to play again that night. Later, at night, they again went fishing together in the game. What type of game are they even playing where all they do is fish? Mizuki explained that she had fun talking to him today and was also super nervous because she was about to meet him in person. She was worried that he might dislike the idea of meeting up in real life due to the possibility of him hating idols and stuff. But he assured her that he didn't care what kind of person she was in real life, as long as she kept playing with him. This guy doesn't care about anything except for the game. Kinda reminds me of someone. Oh, I forgot. He's just like me. Mizuki got emotional after hearing the words coming out of his mouth. Eventually, they both understood that they could also meet in real life, too. So, just like that, his life started to change. But you know, there are also those creatures called friends. Surprisingly, our guy also has two friends. These two right here. And right now, want to know about his relationship with Mizuki. The short and fat one is Tachibana, and the one who looks like Sakamoto's lost brother is Saitu. So they took him to the rooftop, wanting to know everything. And Ayano Koji couldn't help it, so he told them everything. After finding everything out, they just wanted to punch him in the balls. This dipshit even calculated the odds that his marriage partner would turn out to be Mizuki, and it's 0.0001%. Damn, he's very lucky. But you know, with great power comes greater responsibility. And there's also a 99% possibility that she will be targeted for harassment because she is a very famous idol, and her getting along with a specific guy will blow up the internet in minutes. Tachibana also believes in this. According to him, if his favorite idol had a partner, he would definitely stop being their fan. By the way, that's awful. Don't do something like that. However, Ayano Koji doesn't seem to understand all of this because he has never been a fan of any idol. At night, we see him in bed, believing that his friends were just exaggerating. But still, he decided to check out the website Tachibana gave him. After entering the website, he saw a lot of threads discussing Mizuki Rinka. Here you can read all of them if you want. Soon enough, he understood that the situation was a lot more serious than he had thought. Suddenly, a message came from Mizuki, which scares the shit out of him. But she was just asking if he wanted to eat together at the cafeteria again tomorrow. Now, understanding his position, he realized that if he kept getting along with her in real life, she might lose her popularity because of him. Oh my God, I'm getting emotional. I'm gonna cry. So, he rejected her, saying that he was gonna study at lunchtime to prepare for the exam. I wonder what's gonna happen to them. They both look dumb to me, or am I the dumb one? So from the next day, he started avoiding her and didn't even greet her. Later, we found him again on the rooftop with one of his friends, and the other one? He went home early because of tutoring. He explained to Tachibana that he actually was being naive, and now he has decided to keep his distance from her both in-game and in real life. And anyways, it's only an in-game marriage. Besides, he can't allow a mere video game otaku like him to cause problems for her, so he decided to stop talking to her. However, unbeknownst to them, there was also a girl on the rooftop who was hearing all of their conversations. The next day, Mizuki also realized that he had been acting strange and avoiding her since yesterday. She wondered if she had done something to upset him. Throughout the day, she tried to talk to him, but every time she did, he avoided her. 2 days passed like that. On the third day, Ayano Koji was in the school hallway, heading home, when suddenly a can fell near him from a classroom. As he went to pass the can to the person, they pulled him inside the classroom, and it was Mizuki. She pushed him up against the wall, asking why he was avoiding her because she wanted to play with him like they used to and wanted to get along with him better. But you know what he told her?
Don't go prying into my life.
Man, I can't hold it anymore. I want to slap the shit out of him. Mizuki, after hearing that, understood the situation and decided not to interfere in his life anymore. Some days have already passed. Right now, school is over, and he was about to head home when suddenly it started raining. But he didn't bring an umbrella, so now he had to wait until it settled down. Beside him, he saw Mizuki, who actually brought an umbrella. Since then, she hasn't talked to him, doesn't even go online anymore, and they are back to how they used to be. And without even saying a word, she left with her giggle-soft thighs. As she left, another girl approached our guy. She was acting as if she and Ayana Koji were very familiar with each other, but our protagonist doesn't even know who she is. And for your kind info, she is the same girl who heard their conversation on the rooftop. She actually just wanted to talk with him for a second. After following her for some time, on the way, he tried to introduce himself, but she already knew his name, address, age, and that he was the only child. At first, she seemed like a stalker, but she wasn't. He is just famous at the school right now because he got along so well with Mizuki at the school cafeteria that day. After arriving, we found out that this big milkers woman, what was her name again? Nana. So she's the one who asked this medium milkers to bring him here. It's because they both already know about the conversation he had with Tachibana and Saitu the other day on the rooftop. It's true that he's considering her future, and it may indeed be the best thing if they don't get along. However, despite all of that, Mizuki nowadays seems to be in pain. So, even if his getting along with her causes problems to Star Mainzu, she is going to help him, because she doesn't want to see Mizuki suffer anymore. On the other hand, our guy, after thinking about it for some time, found out that he is an idiot. Well, I actually already knew that he was an idiot. And now he has decided that he is going to make up with Mizuki as long as she forgives him. As for the rumors, Nana already have a plan for that. Actually, Nana wanted to make Ayana Koji and Mizuki wed, but she supposes it's not the right time for that. So the next day, he calls his friends to the rooftop again. But on the other hand, they were surprised as hell because they thought that he was now going after Nana. But there's no way, and with a face like his, he can't even attract the bees. And why he called his friend here is because he wanted to ask for a favor. Actually, it's Big Milker's plan. The rumor is spreading because Mizuki was getting along with a specific boy, but if Ayano Koji became one of Mizuki's friends, then it would be fine. However, Mizuki doesn't even have friends in the school other than Nana, and it's all thanks to her cold personality. But it's not like she doesn't want any friends. She does, but she doesn't show any emotions very well. That's why it's hard for her to make any friends in this school. That's what Mizuki told Nana one day. For her, having Ayana Koji and Nana is more than enough. So their plan is to make Kotone, Tachibana, and Saitu Mizuki's friends. Ayana Koji bent down. Not for that. He bent down to ask his friends to be Mizuki's friends too, and that way they could avoid rumors and also help her feel less lonely. Everyone was fine, but this guy started talking about how he just wants them to be friends with her because he wants to be on good terms with Mizuki or something like that. However, he also can't miss the opportunity to be friends with Mizuki. And it's also good for her because soon after Mizuki started getting along with Ayana Koji, her expression became softer. Now they just have to make a plan to get closer to her. They started thinking of a plan, but this MF already has a plan. According to him, there's a realistic and reliable way to become friends with anyone without fail. The next day at lunchtime, they already decided to make a move, but first, they had to rehearse to not mess anything up. As for their plan, they made a plan for when Mizuki would be in the courtyard eating lunch. The four of them are going to approach her, except for Ayano Koji. Naturally, Mizuki will be confused, and then they are going to say, "Please be our friend." His plan is simple as heck, but most people would be hard-pressed to say no when people approach them directly. Either way, during lunch break, there will be a lot of people, so it's perfect for them to show their friendship with Mizuki. And after witnessing that, everyone will think that the guy from the rumors was just part of Mizuki's friend group. And then later, Ayana Koji will go and apologize to her. After waiting for some time, she finally arrived at the courtyard and was eating lunch. Then suddenly, they approached her. Sorry, my mistake. Approached is a very little word, more like they surrounded her. And when Mizuki asked, Nana started introducing all of them to Mizuki. They thought Mizuki would be surprised, but she was more like scared. And at last, they finally said it. To be their friend, and not forget the please. Mizuki, after giving it some thought, agreed to become their friend. The plan worked, and the people who were watching also believed that Ayano Koji was also one of her friends. Everything was going well until Nana accidentally spilled that now Mizuki can go back on speaking terms with Ayano Koji also. Mizuki understood what they were trying to do and told them that she had nothing to do with Ayano Koji anymore. It was her fault for meddling in his real life, because Rin from the game and Mizuki Rinka are completely opposites, so it is logical that he would be disappointed. To Nana, Mizuki was looking the same as when she was working tirelessly when their group wasn't popular. Mizuki decided to leave because she had to get ready for the 5th period. They found out that she is hurt more than they thought, and there's nothing they can do more than this. In her current state, no one can rescue her. However, our guy decided to step in from the 2nd floor of the school. He screams and apologized to her about what happened. It was all because he was concerned with his surroundings without considering her feelings. Later, he asks her to be his friend. However, at the main moment, he literally bit his tongue. Really, my guy? You messed up at the main moment? He explained that not only him, but they all want to be friends with her. He also wants to go fishing with her. Everybody had no idea why he only wanted to go fishing with her. But Nana had an idea of what he was talking about in the game. Suddenly, the teacher entered his class and started scolding him for not yelling from the window. But the teacher surprised him, and his hand slipped, and just like that, he fell from the 2nd floor onto the ground. Later, when he opened his eyes, he found Mizuki crying on top of him. He didn't get hurt because there was a flower bed right down there. Really? How can he not break any bones after falling from the 2nd floor? After finding out that he is fine and didn't get any serious injury? Mizuki said she also wanted to get along with him and go fishing. But he changed his mind, and now wanted to go mining with her too, which was also fine by her. And just like that, everything went back to normal. Of course, he was scolded by the gardener, but since he promised to fix the flower bed, he didn't get punished. Later, when they were playing the game, a question came into Mizuki's mind. If it's okay for her to say that she was his wife. Obviously, he misunderstood again and believed it was okay, because he thought she was talking about just an in-game wife. Just when they were both enjoying their fishing time, they were suddenly approached by a person in the game with a huge-looking character. Ayano Koji thought he might be Mizuki's friend. However, she doesn't have friends, so she decided to check the player's profile. He was a beginner, going by the name Sturm Angriff Beastman. And let's guess who is this? It's Nana. Mizuki recognized her because Sturm Angriff is Nana's pet cat's name. Yes, I also think Nana really suck at naming. Mizuki told her she should have said she was joining the game, but Nana just wanted to surprise her. However, after seeing Mizuki in the game and her expressions, Nana went to Ayano Koji and whispered, asking if this girl really was Mizuki Rinka. Mizuki always said she was not different from real life, but now it all made sense. Nana came to surprise both of them, but now she's the one surprised because Mizuki is the exact opposite of how she looks in real life.